Imagine you don't have to go to the clinic every fortnight due to typhoid fever. Just think about this. Freedom from constant fever, headache, muscle cramps, fatigue, and abdominal pain that usually come with this. That could save you a lot of stress and economic burden that are involved in diagnosis and treatment. And you know the best part? You start going about your businesses and chores with more energy and health, just as you've always wanted. Can I tell you something? All these things can be possible just through simple but deliberate habit changes around your meals. Now, you might be wondering, I've not had typhoid fever yet. That's great, but it doesn't end there. Future transmission risks are not ruled out yet because study has it that this infection can majorly be transmitted through food-related routes. And you know the funny thing? The risk of transmission continues to increase as many of us depend on various stages of food value chain. The thing is, we might not be able to produce every single thing we eat all by ourselves, or we can't even prepare everything by ourselves. And even if we do, a little defects in our habits can still expose us to this infectious agent too. But there's a good news. There's something we can do. We can actually make concrete efforts to watch all those things we eat, to inspect our food, to look at them and ensure that they are germ-free. Do you know that with millions of people with this infection, especially in Africa where we have limited access to clean water and also inadequate facilities for proper sewage disposal, this infection can be transmitted very fast and its effects can be far-reaching. And that's why you should be well informed on simple things you need to do to protect yourself. In this video, we're going to be discussing typhoid fever and the major transmission routes. Also, we'll be talking about the simple things you need to do to protect yourself. So stay with us. What's typhoid fever? It's just an infectious disease that is caused by a group of bacteria known as Salmonella typhi. This one is just like a weapon fashioned against man alone because man is the major host here. It can be very, very bad if it enters the bloodstream. And symptoms can start appearing within a week or two. You'll start seeing the effect in your body. There's this other related group known as Salmonella paratyphi. It causes paratyphoid fever. It's very related to typhoid fever, but not as severe as typhoid fever. But all of them are within a group known as enteric fever. You see how everything is. How do people get it? Through fecal-oral routes. That's eating some food, or drinking the water that is soiled by human waste. And animal waste too, because sometimes they can carry it too. How is that even possible? Because this waste contains millions and millions of that bacteria. And then when they enter inside your body, the problem starts. This is common in some areas with poor sanitation. And also you find them through unhygienic food practices in some household, marketplaces, roadside food vendors, and some food handlers in our neighborhood. So, what does this tell you? That you should try as much as possible to ensure that these things do not enter into what you eat. It's quite simple. How are you going to do that? First of all, ensure you wash your hand always with clean water and soap before eating. Do you realize that majority of what you eat passes through your hand to your mouth? It sounds simple, right? You may think it doesn't matter. It really does. It really does. And sometimes you may be tempted to rush through it and get started with other things. Please remember that clean hands are important and washing them very well is all you need to achieve clean hands. Because you might have picked one or two things from surfaces and objects you touch in the neighborhood. And if you do this thing very well, I can assure you the result will amaze you. What again do you need to do? Ensure you wash your vegetables and fruits with clean water before eating them. You might not know that some of these things you like so much are actually grown with human waste and then animal waste too. They are either applied as manure or as pest control, and eating them without properly washing them is as good as infecting yourself all by yourself, and that's not what you might like to do to yourself. Also remember that the cleanliness of the water you use is also important too, because if you wash with a dirty one, it's as good as you never washed. Again, drink only filtered or treated water. You see, our water sources might not be entirely free from contaminants, but there's something we can do. We can try and purify them. There's chlorination method, there's filtration method, and even if you can't afford that, please boil them very well, store in a clean container, and start using them when they cool down. It helps a lot. What again do you need to do? Be careful with raw food. Be careful with undercooked food. You see, cooking helps to soften our food. They add flavor to it. They make it good. They combine it. They make the whole mix very, very palatable. But behind that, there's another very, very important thing, which is it kills disease-causing bacteria inside them. It helps to kill them. And when you do this very well, you are not just adding flavor to your food now. You are also protecting yourself by getting rid of all these germs. Do this and save yourself. However, some people may prefer some kinds of food raw or half-baked. If that's the case, please ensure it's prepared from germ-free ingredients or materials, or the materials used in making them are properly washed. It's very important. Finally, keep a clean environment. Maintain a clean cooking utensils. Ensure that your eating wells are very clean. They are very important. You see, when you keep all these areas and all this equipment dirty, you have a way of attracting disease vectors like flies and bugs. And when they perch on them, they transfer some of these disease-causing organisms into them. And then you are going to pick that, your foods are going to pick that, and then you start coming down with typhoid fever. But when you keep them clean, this attraction reduces, and then you are free. Remember also to cover your food properly so that they don't get exposed to these organisms. And also store in clean containers, store in clean environment. Very, very important. Why are we even stressing on this? Because prevention is cheaper, is easier, and is safer to handle than treatment. You know, all these little things we are mentioning, they may seem insignificant, but they help a lot in ensuring that you don't get typhoid fever. And when you embrace them, when you cherish them and start practicing them, you're not just helping yourself alone, but you are helping to save the entire neighborhood. Please, don't forget to like, subscribe, share for more amazing ones ahead.